Hey guys, it's Joshua Mack. Welcome back to another video here on Mac12 TV on YouTube. As you can see, today we are going to be looking at the answer to the question, are you okay? I'm fine. I'm going to open up a little bit about my own personal experience with this and how it can be a little compromising with that. So first of all, I want to look at a quote from Brené Brown. And she is somebody that I encourage you, if you have some free time, about 2 hours, look up her Netflix special. Her name is B-R-E-N-E and the color brown, Brené Brown. Her Netflix special is honestly one of the most amazing things you can watch, especially if you're dealing with depression and anxiety. It's something that when I watched it, it honestly moved me to tears and I cried because there was a lot of talk about vulnerability and how much courage it takes to be vulnerable. I want to read a quote from her and then we'll get into this. She has a quote that says, "Staying vulnerable is a risk we have to take if we want to experience connection." So keep that in mind while we go through this. I recently signed up and got on TikTok. Please help me. I'm stuck in TikTok. And it's because it is Mental Health Awareness Month, there have been a lot of videos that have come across my For You page basically discussing mental health, mental illness, suicide, things of that nature. And it's given me some ideas for a couple other videos that I'm going to get to here in the next couple days to next couple weeks. But I wanted to address this one about, are you okay? Because it's a question that when we know somebody is off, something's not right, we ask the question, are you okay? And it's a perfectly normal, perfectly fine question to ask. We ask our spouses, our children, our moms, dads, grandmas, grandfathers, aunts, uncles, best friends, coworkers. We ask them, are you okay? The thing that you have to pay attention to is if you know somebody has been battling with something and you just get the answer, I'm fine. Now, I'm going to speak to both sides of this here, and I need to preface this with, yet again, I'm not a professional in dealing with mental illnesses. I'm only going off of experiences that I have personally had with my own mental health. And so me basing these experiences off of that is the advice that I'm giving to you today. Have no training, have no formal training as a mental health professional, have no training in dealing with crisis situations. This is just based on my own experiences. So, the ASCII. Are you okay? I'm fine. Good to know. Good to hear. If you know somebody is dealing with a mental illness or something of that nature and they answer with the I'm fine reply, if you know somebody that they confide in and that's a confidant of theirs, or somebody that you know is close to them that might know a little more, you might check in with them to make sure that they are okay. This can be done discreetly. I don't want to say go behind their back, but if you truly are concerned about them and you're not just asking the typical are you okay and then blowing them off, if you genuinely are concerned, you can try to get them to open up. Chances are they won't, and I'll get to that in just a moment. But find somebody you know they confide in and discuss with them if you truly are concerned, and just ask them, is so-and-so okay? Are they doing okay? What's going on? And try to find out that way. If it helps in trying to get the person to talk to you, you can go up to them and just say, hey, it's come to my attention that you've been going through something rather difficult. I'm not going to pretend to know the entire situation, but I'm here if you need somebody to talk to. And that can go a long, long way, just being there for somebody if they need somebody to talk to. Now, on the other side, the person being asked, vulnerability is a hard thing to do, is a hard thing to practice, is a hard thing to get into. And this is where I'm going to give my own personal experience. 2 years ago, I found out via text messages between my now soon to be ex-wife and my daughter's biological father that I was not the biological father. My daughter was getting ready to turn 9 years old at that point, and because of the situation and the sensitivity of the situation, I was one of those that played off everything was fine. I had friends at work that knew things weren't fine. I had one person that I really confided in at all. And a lot of the people at my work, a lot of my close associates knew something was wrong, but I wouldn't open up to them. And I had reasons. My main reason was that I had been broken and hurt so many times that I really wasn't sure who I could confide in. So I would go in, smile on my face, the mask that we put on, and act like everything was fine. I would go about my daily activities at work like I was doing great. But there was that little crack in the mask that people could see through, and they knew something wasn't quite right. So they kept on, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" "I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm good." But I would go off and be by myself, and people knew things weren't exactly right. I finally got to a point where I could allow myself to be vulnerable with certain people, and I opened up to them. And when I opened up to them about being lied to for 9 years about the identity of the father of my daughter, many of them were stunned beyond belief. I've been told by people when I've brought this to their attention that I'm surprised you can even function. Even to this day, with everything going on in my divorce, which I can't go into details now, I've been told I'm surprised you can even get up and walk in the morning with that kind of pressure, with that kind of whatever just weighing on you. And those few weeks to few months after that, and the events that occurred after that, there were days I was surprised I was even alive, to be honest. I told you guys back in July of 2019, I came razor thin close to committing suicide. And that was something that I didn't even want to be vulnerable about with that. But in opening up to a few of my close associates and whatever, and letting them know what had happened with the fact that I found this out with my daughter, a lot of them didn't know how to react. But they then knew if I was having a bad day, why I was having a bad day, why I was quiet. So when you're asked by somebody, "Are you okay?" it's perfectly normal to answer with, "I'm fine." Especially if there's somebody you don't know if you can trust or not. You know, with my situation, the closest person I had in my life had broken my entire trust. I didn't know who I could trust at that point. I didn't know who I could rely on. The person that I had been married to for 9 years, to find out that she lied to me for 9 years, left me broken and left me devastated, honestly. And like I said, I didn't know who I could trust. I didn't know who I could talk to. So when you're asked, "Are you okay?" as I said, it's perfectly fine and perfectly normal to answer with, "I'm fine" or "I'm okay." But just realize that you do need to let some of that out sometimes. You need to find somebody that you can talk to and let them know what's really going on. Because what I found out in talking to therapists and talking to other people and talking to people that have experienced things is the more you keep this stuff inside, the more you let it build up. And it honestly becomes a bigger cage for you that becomes harder and harder to get out of. And that's why a lot of people end up committing suicide or other things, because they don't talk about what's going on. They don't let other people know around them what's happening in their life. And a lot of times that's really hard. It's really hard. But I guarantee you there's at least one coworker, one friend, one person that would listen, given the opportunity, to just let you let everything out, let you cry, let your depression out, let whatever is bothering you and weighing you down, to just let you talk to them. And that was something I found out the hard way, honestly. I had friends that loved and cared for me that I honestly didn't know if I could talk to them or not. And finding out after I admitted to them that I almost committed suicide, I realized that I did have friends. And while I have many of them still, I have lost a few. I'll admit it. I've talked about it before in another video. I've lost a few, and one in particular was there that I thought was going to be there for the rest of my life. And they're not going to be. And there were other friends that I'd written off, honestly, that I thought that I'd lost because of distance, time apart, whatever. That time has shown that they're still some of my best friends. That even though there are times that I can go months without talking to a friend, and he'll call me up and he'll be like, "What's up, dude?" And we can talk for half an hour like no time has passed. And there are friends clear across the country that I went years without talking to, but we're still good friends. And there are friends that I was very, very close with that who knows if I'll even speak to anymore. But the fact is, you have to find somebody to talk to, whether it's a therapist, whether it's a close confidant, a coworker, a friend. Find somebody you can trust to talk to them. And if you're the askee and they decide to open up to you, take the opportunity to listen. Give an empathetic ear. It's not that hard to just sit there and listen and let somebody vent and listen to the things that they have to say. Because you never know in opening up to somebody if you're going to save your own life, because you're willing to be vulnerable and talk about it. And you never know in being the listening ear whether you're going to save that person's life, because you may be the last person that they ever thought to talk to, but they open up to you at the last minute before something can happen. And they let you know what's going on in their life. So just, if you're asked, at some point, be willing to be vulnerable. Be willing to open up and let somebody or let a few people know what's going on in your life. Let people know what's weighing you down. And if you're the one asking, show some empathy and a listening ear, because sometimes that's all some people need, is just somebody to listen to them. And that's it. And sometimes you never know what just a little bit of your time is going to make a huge, huge difference. I appreciate you guys watching. If you like the videos I make, please subscribe and hit the bell so you know when I upload videos. I'm trying to put out videos quite frequently this month, as it is something that I'm very passionate about, and that's a lot of what my channel is about mental health and helping those with mental illness and with mental health issues, trying to find a better path. Like I said, going off of my own personal experiences with my own mental health. I'm not a professional, but I'm trying to discuss some of the things that have helped me. I appreciate you guys. Remember, grab the pen, grab the paper, continue writing your story, because you are the one that's in control and you are the one that has the power to write your own story. You guys take care, and I'll talk to you soon. I'm Joshua Mack. Thank you.